Today, what I wanted to talk about is really essentially boils down to this. AI is everywhere. As I talk with customers as part of ServiceNow, one of the things we hear is over and over, organizations and people are looking at how do we get more done. Artificial intelligence has that promise of helping us as humans work better and work more efficiently. I know I have played around with some, and I'm sure you have too. We've tried Copilot, we've used ChatGPT, we've looked at Claude, we've used Google Notebooks, tried all these different AI methodologies, and it is helpful in some ways. But to look at ways that it actually improves the flow of work and improves business and drives efficiencies, there's something else needed. And so today what I want to talk about is what I call the 3 ingredients needed to really drive value from artificial intelligence as you move into your organization. And the term that we used, I just got back from sales kickoff with ServiceNow, is agentic AI. Looking at how do we find ways to have AI behave as or assist your agents. AI acting as an agent. So if you think about agentic AI, what does it really need to be effective? Think about those ways that you've played with AI and looked at those large language models. It needs information. So many of those, you have to find documents or you got to type it in yourself to really provide that information so it knows. It needs data. So if you think about AI, you have to have those AI engines and those AI capabilities, but it has to have that data. And then you also have to be able to connect it with what else has to happen. Now, as you think about your enterprise, your organization, chances are it gets complex in a hurry. And here's where ServiceNow, I think, really stands out, and why I'm so glad I'm part of the organization, is ServiceNow makes AI work for people and organizations because we bring these 3 things together. Agentic AI, agents that behave as AI. They're using data, and I want to spend a lot of time talking about the data piece because, of course, ServiceNow is built on one platform. If you've watched any of these now with Troy, you understand how much of our platform really leverages that same data model. That even though we grow by acquisition, we're taking that technology from those acquisitions and looking at how do we port that into the ServiceNow platform. So it's using that same database. So that as work goes from one department to the other, up and down your organization, it's referencing that same data with a secure data model in place so the right people can see the data and those that shouldn't, don't. But all the data is not going to reside on ServiceNow. You have countless systems. The number that I often hear is up in like the 300s, where across your enterprise you have trusted systems of record. And that's the key. Where do you have data that is enabling your organization, but it doesn't really flow? The AI agent can't really work on it, and it needs to have other parts of the data to work. And you also need to have this 3rd ingredient we'll get to in a little bit. But one of the things we've done at ServiceNow is we've created what we call a data fabric, that we can reach into all of these other organizations to seamlessly build integrations across the cloud where data needs to come in and be updated, either one directionally or bi-directionally, but also be able to access it. So think about those agentic AI. As we build out those agents with AI, we want to understand what information do they need to see. And with ServiceNow, that can span your enterprise of data through this data fabric. But it's not only using our own language model, which we've had for quite a while, using AI that is deep inside our instances, all behind that secure area. But we also want to leverage those point investments that our customers have made with AI. And so we've built kind of like a control tower for AI to be able to use those other engines, weave them together, and help them get access to the data that you need across the system. But the key part is, like I mentioned, we don't want artificial intelligence to go running off on its own to kind of take over, right? We've seen way too many sci-fi movies that do that. What we really want is we want that agentic AI model to leverage the data to let our people inside a workflow do the right work at the right time. And that could be an approval. Let's say it's something where, someone needs a new laptop. They go and request it. And that agentic AI can respond back and in a conversational manner, understand what type of laptop based on your role and who you are, and it understands based on the data who should approve that. So the workflow might be that goes off to either a manager or a finance department to say this laptop should it be approved. Once it is, then that can go back to another AI agent to say, well, what things can we do and automate to pull it up? Do we have access to really configure it, pre-configure an image? So that image is all ready so that laptop can be sent out, and then send it off to our IT department to truly configure and transport that and ship it out. It's that mix of the agentic AI, that front end of those agents, leveraging all the data within your organization as needed, coupled with the workflow to really pull people together. What I'd argue as I look out on the landscape, there's a reason that I'm super happy that I'm part of ServiceNow. Because we're there, and I would argue we're the only organization that can provide that level of value, tying AI agents to data to workflow across your enterprise. And when I say across your enterprise, it means not only working with IT, of course we've done that for decades, but also as we work with HR, as we work with manufacturing and your back office, but also your front office. If you think about customers, your customers to your business, where do they need help? We're working more and more providing agentic AI for customer service management to help those clients get the service that they need, the products that they need, at the time they need. Combining those three ingredients of value is the key. And so with that, it's a quick Now with Troy. But if you have any questions, reach out to me on LinkedIn, reach out to me on YouTube. I'm not hard to find. But I look forward to hearing your thoughts and comments. And also, love your suggestions for other things I should cover on future Workflow Wednesdays. With that, have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.